TikTok. Okay. Alright. Alright. Oh, there's people in the voice call. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
The thing is doing the thing, so
I might have to turn down the volume on my iPad.
I gotta turn up desktop audio so that people can hear the call. No one's here yet, but oh wait, no, there's 2 people here. Someone asked how I am. I'm okay, I guess, kind of. 3 people. Wow. 3 is my favorite number. No, someone left. I'm gonna go get the link. Where was it here? Copy. Are you animating? What are you doing?
Yes, I should probably turn down my iPad's volume.
Yeah.
I'm doing the line art, so once I'm done with the line art, I don't really need the sound because I'll be going to coloring.
Mm.
But I'm only doing the line art.
Hello, people in the chat. Hello. Good to see you. Kind of. Well, I can't let you see. I'm kind of tired. I wish I could like show you everyone that's like watching. Cause like I don't know. That seems like something that would like be happening. I don't get that it like you have to be like things have to be happening on this screen to maintain smooth streaming. That doesn't make sense to me. Why can't I have a still picture and like have it not fuck up my audio? I don't understand that.
I'm gonna take a break from doing the animation because I've been working on it for hours, and yeah. Although I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna delete the sketch for this part because
My viewer thing is going up and down a lot. We had a peak of 4 and now we have 1 person. Hello, 1 person. Oh, there's 2 people. A new record. Can't ban me for spamming in my own chat. No one's saying anything. I might as well. Ha!
actually I think
Huh.
I'm just gonna.
Oh, hello. Okay, someone asked, do I have any pets? Yeah, I have 3 cats. Rose, Wolf, and Cloud. They're very lovely cats. Been live for 5 minutes. I'm open to almost any questions, so um, please ask me things. I'm really bored.
And 5 notifications from YouTube.
Ah. Me making weird noises this stream. I thought about singing.
This is what I get for not charging it at the beginning of the day because I forgot.
I thought about, like, maybe I could do a singing stream, but, like, 1, what am I gonna sing? And 2, it's like 8 p.m. Oh, Arrow's gonna join. Yay. 4 viewers. 4 concurrent viewers. I don't know what that means, but I think that's pretty good. Why am I in this stream? I don't know, why are you in this stream, Draco the Drolf? Either way, welcome, I'm just sitting here. Okay. Yeah, me too.
My sister gets the point.
Hi Zenith, I'm streaming. So, if you don't want your voice to be in the stream, then, yeah. Just a pre-warning.
Well, there's no going back, is there? But, I mean, I like talking anyway, so.
Welcome to this. I don't know what I'm doing. It's a Q&A stream. No one's asking any questions, so I got a how was your day and do you have any pet? And a why am I in this stream? So, some high quality questions here. I got a text message from someone at 10:45 a.m. that said, "Are you doing okay?" I didn't respond because I don't really know what to say. Are you human? I'm a cloud. Last time I checked. Does anybody here play My Singing Monsters? Because if you do, then I like you. And if you don't, you should download it. You know, it seems like one of those, like... Also, this is not sponsored. It seems like one of those, like, cash grab kind of games where they just, like, make it and they don't care about it, and they just want your money. Well, they do just want your money, but... I don't know, it seems like they put a lot of effort into it for what it is, you know? I accidentally bred a sugar bush monster. It's got 15 hours left until it goes to the incubation stage. How is the soft fuzzy man animation going? I gave up. Sorry. Maybe I'll pick it up again someday, but I never really made any real progress on it. It was mostly just an idea, and it's definitely not getting done right now. Until someone asks actual questions, I'm gonna just talk about my singing monsters island. What's your
What do you
favorite
guys
weird?
think of the drawing I
Ooh.
just sent in chat?
What's your favorite weird
It's
noise?
like a chromatic aberration,
Someone asked, "What is your favorite weird noise to make?" The the
psychedelic-ish.
one the one I made earlier. The
It made
There, I
squiggly
like it.
lines, glitched it, and then
I got a fur corn on my gold island because I spent months trying to like feed it up to level 15 before I like just stopped playing the game entirely.
the opposite sides of
That
where the
looks
lighting would
cool.
be. Thank you.
So then I went back to it and I finally got it level
That's
15.
that's the profile picture.
Also,
I think you cut out
Yeah.
again.
I got a million coins
Um,
and that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna try to. Oh, I could buy the island now. I want to save it so I can get the Bone Island, but to get the Bone Island, I have to buy the Fire Haven anyway. So I know no one knows what I'm talking about, but all right, buy Fire Haven.
Stream.
Stream, yeah. 1,000.
I meant stream. Sorry.
Oh, I gotta go. Did I get coins from it? Probably not. Info. How many beds do I have? 4. Let me guess. It's really fucking expensive to buy monsters. Is it? Oh no. Hmm. Oh my god, 10? 10 relics, not even. I thought the relics were for the other things. Oh, that's gonna take 4 hours. Great. Okay, never mind. Moving on from that. Oh, honey's here. Hello, honey. Hello, honey. Hello.
funny.
Time to read
Yeah. Haircuts too.
Hello.
Hmm. Oh, my Discord's having a seizure.
A podcast. Like, I would love to do that, but okay, but not right now. Mongoose is in the Discord now. Okay, so Mongoose, we're doing the QnA thing, right?
Yeah,
Still,
it keeps disconnecting my Discord.
that sucks.
It doesn't like when
It
I
does
stream.
too.
Did were you gonna ask a question or something?
Me?
I don't.
I mean,
Oh,
you can. Someone asked, "What is favorite Lemon Demon song?" I thought you people knew this, but Soft Fuzzy Man. Good night. Who or what inspired you to start drawing? I started drawing because I wanted to do Warrior Cat stuff. I wanted to draw my characters that I came up with, and so I was like, well, I watched these speed paints of these people doing a Five Nights at Freddy's and a cat. So I'm gonna do that but make it my characters. And so then I did that, and it was really shit, but I got better because that's how art works.
I have no clue what I'd ask.
And like talk about some things that you feel strongly about.
I don't know if you heard anything.
Like for instance, I could say like I could ask you about like how you perceive the like like the rise of like people. I don't know. Like I don't really know how to ask this. Like how do you view everyone like suddenly either wanting to be non-binary or like all the other gender stuff that I can't think of right now, or some people like suddenly just turning away from it. Like I feel like been a spark of people who've finally came out, and there's also been a spark of people who have been openly hating it now. Like, what's your opinion on that?
I guess it has been happening. I don't know a lot about it, but from what I do know, with the spark of people coming forward and being non-binary and trans and whatnot, I think that's perfectly fine. We're growing as a society where it's becoming more and more safe for people to be able to come out and not have to fear for their lives for being who they are, you know. So I think that,
Yeah.
like, I think people were like, well, why is the new generation so gay? It's like, it's because we're growing as a society, and there's
It's because time
people
is
aren't,
always
people,
changing.
not everyone's in the closet. Like, it's not like these just came out of nowhere. People were knowing that they were this way, people were feeling this way, but they didn't have the terms or knowledge to describe
Because the
how
time
they were
didn't
feeling.
allow it.
Yeah.
And they weren't
I
even able to, like, consider that being an option, you know? With the
I think it's really interesting
with the
though
people
how
coming forward and like being more open about being transphobic and shit, I don't like that they're trying to make it seem like a little fun thing or like give it a little label and be like, oh, we're super straight, we're not transphobic. It's like, no, you're just a transphobic bitch, kind of.
I hear shovels in the background.
Sorry, I'm messing with a thing. I have a little thing
Okay.
I'm fidgeting with
I
now.
am.
But I think that it's stupid, basically. People like
It is.
you're you're
Yeah.
just like if you're a man and you're attracted to women, it doesn't matter if they're trans or not. A woman is a woman. A woman is a woman, a man's a man, non-binary person's a non-binary person.
I mean,
It's a
I
trans woman.
guess
It's
like
still a woman. It doesn't make you less
I guess it
straight.
comes down to that still. But I know it's like
Lesbians can like
every
trans women, and gay men can like trans men because trans men are men and trans women are women. Like that's like end of story.
Yeah.
There's no like
I
you're not
oh
less
yeah,
straight just because
like
you like
they are
trans women.
they're they're not
I mean,
they're not still female if they transition into male. Like
yeah.
that doesn't make sense because they've adopted a new identity for themselves and they said I'm gonna be a
Well, no,
boy now or a
see,
man now.
they've
That's
real.
not there's
No,
no
it's not like they're
reason.
just adopting a new identity or just deciding. It's not a decision. It's coming to terms with what you've always been. Like trans men have always been men. They were just born in the wrong body.
Yeah, like and what's kind of weird is that all the burst of everything like kind of coming out now is time. It's a weird reflection on time sort of because time changes all the time like
yeah.
and like new morals and new regulations, new societal norms change over time. And like as you were saying before, with these people who are in the closet as like slang, I think isn't that like a just
It
It was like an old
usually
term
means
back for like
they
it
haven't
was in the
come out as
closet.
like trans or
Yeah, yeah.
LGBT or anything. People didn't used to do that because they could be killed for
Or time
doing
didn't allow it. They didn't think it was normal or
that. Well,
quote unquote normal.
they could also just have been literally just killed for trying to be who they are, which is not okay.
It's dumb. It's not
I
okay at all. Like they're
I
just
was
expressing.
My personal thing on the super straight, super lesbian, whatever the fuck the hell going on with that. It's not a real sexuality. That's not a sexuality. That's just transphobia. Trans people
Like
are
what is it?
part of being a part of any sexuality. There's no sexuality that is exclusive to there's no sexuality that's exclusive to cis people. There's no sexuality that's exclusive to trans people. If it's a preference of like generally like having sex, then like if you're not into a certain genital, then I guess that's understandable. But like you can't discriminate against people romantically just because like they were born a different way.
Yeah, like you can't go up to a trans woman and say, "Oh, I'm not gonna date you because you used to be a man." Like that's not how that works, right?
Like they're a woman,
Like they're
they're a
still a
woman
woman,
now, and they always were a woman. Just because they were
but they
born
were just
a man
born
had
into
to
a man's
become
body
a
and then
woman.
decided to become a woman.
They didn't decide to do anything.
Well, not really decision. It's like how they felt from the start. Like I didn't mean decision. I meant decision to carry out how they feel, not like a decision as in like, "Oh, I'm suddenly gonna switch to female now." I didn't mean it like that. I meant like deciding to come out. Like that's
Yeah.
like because of course it's not a decision. It like you can't decide whether you're homosexual or not. You can't decide whether you're trans or not. It's just natural. And
yeah.
to just
I
all
mean,
those people who say it's not natural, homosexuality isn't natural. One, the evangelical Christians, and two,
okay.
all of them were animals. It's natural. We forget that we're animals.
There's lots of examples of homosexuality in like in nature and like in other species.
Yeah, there are.
Mhm.
So like I don't. That's not really an argument. People who say that homosexuality is wrong because of like their religion, that they're I wouldn't count them as real like people of that religion. You can't hide
Yeah,
behind
you can't
religion to
use
justify
religion
your
as an excuse.
Yeah.
and
Doing that's just a
like
jerk move.
yeah, like personally I'm pagan. I've never really I didn't have a Christian upbringing or anything. My dad did, but I didn't. They were both agnostic or atheist or whatever, both my parents. But um, it's like I never really understood. But like in terms of like, is there a God? I think there's multiple. Some people think there's only one. But I if in their terms, God is supposed to love everybody, and that everybody means everybody. That doesn't exclude people based on if they're trans, if they're LGBT, if they're a
And
different
some
race.
people
It doesn't
take
discriminate on gender. It doesn't discriminate on
yeah,
wealth. It doesn't discriminate on whether they're
anything.
able-bodied or it doesn't
And
discriminate on
also
anyone. Everybody means everybody. And
also
if
for
you hate on
also to
someone,
people
if you're Christian and you hate on a certain group for being people. If you hate on a certain like group of people based on like their country of origin, their race, their sexuality, their gender, how they identify anything, then that's not you accepting that God loves everyone. You have to love thy neighbors or whatever
and
that
also
is.
people forget that the Bible was written or like just using Christianity as an example. People forget that these religious texts were written way before our time and that because time is constantly changing, those texts need to be adapted and new regulations or
Well, also
not
just
necessarily
translated
regulations, but new
wrong.
like kind of thoughts for religion
Language
need to be.
changes. Language changes. I just wanted to say
Well,
that
also
And
language
all
it's
those
changes
been
people
and
who
things
say
are.
it's
like those
Yeah.
people
It's people. It's the Bible's been translated several times, so there's plenty of things in the English Bible that like people they probably say some much different stuff to like what you actually mean. Okay, hold on. I've gotten a lot of chats. Let's not go on a tangent about That. Do you like Callie Hall? I like some of their songs. I don't listen to it actively, but I like a couple songs. Like there's some that I know, so. Did I ask you about pets? You did. Favorite Lemon Demon album? I have no idea. How far are you in the Warriors series? I'm on the last book of Vision of Shadows. How am I today?
Very far, and they were like, gay bad. That's not correct. It's not even what religion was supposed to be.
Okay, so from what I'm getting, my stream is that I can't hear anything once I leave Discord to like look at the stream chat, so I'm gonna be going back and forth, and once I go look at the stream chat, I'm not gonna be able to hear anything. I don't know if you're able to hear me or not, but...
Well, I might be on mute because I need to do the...
Alright.
Sorry. I need to do my workout, but that's, I mean,
Workout.
It's not nothing. It's not anything new. It's just... I don't know why.
Petting my cat.
I'm sitting here waiting for people. I'm gonna check the chat again. Oh, we got more viewers. We got like 7 viewers.
That's cool. If you can hear me.
But basically, I'm gonna check on this.
I'm petting my cat.
Nice.
I
that
personally
was just
have a
something
cat,
random.
but I hear that they're kind of cool.
Yeah, I have 2 cats and a dog. Well, they're not
I only have
technically
one
mine,
dog.
they're the family pets, but, you know.
I mean, I have 3 cats, so... Cool.
The cats tend to hang around my room for whatever reason, probably because I have a heater on. My room isn't properly ventilated, so... By ventilated, I mean like heated and stuff.
Yeah, like air vent stuff.
Yeah. The worst part is that my room has the strangest layout. There are like 10 different plugins, and there are 3 of those things, but they're in spots where you would put furniture.
That's like my room too.
Also, like half the plugins are inaccessible because of like bookshelves and furniture.
Like, yeah, like I have a desk, and one of the plugs is like behind one of the legs, and I can't. I mean, I could move the desk, but that's just inconvenient because my desk has always been where it was.
So people are asking questions. I'm gonna...
Okay, I don't want to take over the stream.
What,
I
what rodents do you think are the cutest? Mice, guinea pigs, etc. Um...
I agree.
What do you mean you agree?
What do you mean? Yeah, rodents are the
I just
cutest.
read the question. That was part of the question. I don't know what I was thinking.
Disagree with
That
your...
was part of the question.
What
And everyone was like, we agree.
what
I
rodents do you think are the cutest?
disagree with
I
your
agree.
answer. Rodent and guinea pigs
I
are
don't
cute.
entirely know what counts as a rodent, but
Like rats, I guess guinea
well, yeah, I
pigs.
know that one.
Mice are cute.
But maybe rodent as in...
I like...
I don't know if...
Are ferrets rodents? Wait, actually,
Ooh, if there's a rodent.
Sure,
I'm
maybe.
Give me
looking
a
this
second,
up.
let
Give me
me
a
look
second.
that up.
No, I'm looking it up.
I
I have
like
a computer
the
beside me.
race.
Little computer to look at.
Ferrets is a domesticated form of the They're weasels. Right, okay, indeed.
They're not rodents.
What's your favorite rodent? Has to do an entire Google research to figure out
Yeah,
what
you have to
counts
Mongoose.
write an
as a
essay.
rodent.
You have to write an essay, and then like one day on your
Wait,
YouTube
why is it
channel, you just
glitching?
an entire paper. All road stuff.
Why is it freaking out?
Yo, am I stupid or did I never know that a squirrel was a rodent?
I like squirrels, actually.
A squirrel then should
Okay,
kill us.
I have more questions I gotta read. Okay, I'm gonna leave that one with squirrels because I don't know. What's your favorite color? Yellow. What songs are you interested in making animations for? Let me pull out my list.
I love how you have like
Honestly, same.
you have a pre-written list that's funny.
Well,
You're
not
just
really.
like,
I just
I've
look.
been waiting to read this.
I'm just going through my playlist, honestly. I want to do one with Amnesia was her name because I have a very good idea for that. I just don't know what part I'm gonna do. Well, I do. I just like I have a lot of things that I need to be getting done. I'm doing something for being a rock star. I want to do something for SAD, or SAD, whatever you want to call it. I kind of have an idea for Hayloft, not Hayloft, wrong, wrong song by Mother Mother. I have an idea for one with Wrecking Ball, but I'm probably not gonna make it like an actual thing. Um, I have whole animatics to Kicks by Barnes Courtney, the Queen of White Lies by the Oriana's Experience, um, and the one song, Monster, um, and Unhealthy Obsession. I have full animatics for those. I'm probably never going to make any of them, but I have ideas. They'll probably just stay ideas.
That's me with 90% of the stuff I do.
Uh,
It's just like,
is,
oh, I like this song. I want to do this or host a map with
what is
it, and
your
I never get to doing it.
what is your goal of subs?
Good idea.
Oh,
Unexistent execution.
someone said, what is your goal of subs? I think my current goal is 1K, just because that's closest. I don't think I'll ever get there, but it's a nice thought. Do you have any friends that are quote-unquote popular? I don't know. Maybe. Like, do you mean like at school or like on YouTube or what? Because I mean, Jeep has like 300 subscribers, and that's pretty popular to me.
I have like 700, 800 around that amount.
I don't have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we've been friends since like kindergarten. I think you probably know.
Yeah, I think I would. um, I'm kind of friends with Stroglix, and they have like 1K, so like that's really cool. It's not like we talk actively, but like I mean I kind of got all like my first 300 subscribers from them, so thanks, Stroglix.
But you have 750.
Well, I don't think any of those 300 found me again, but originally, you know.
I used to post like a bunch of different content before I got into like maps and animation and stuff, and all those videos are unlisted or privated. But I feel like most of the subscribers I have were there for that, and now they just get bombarded with all of my map art.
I have a map part that I need to do, but I'm really behind in school, and I need to do that. I'm gonna try to like sit down and get it done tomorrow. Um,
I have an art trade I need to do, but I feel like I'm not doing enough, and I'm trying to get them to give me more information on what they exactly want. Because I gave them like this detailed script,
I
and then they give me this like thing, and it's just like here.
my main problem with like with getting school done is that I stayed up all night, and then I went to bed at like 4 a.m., and then I had to wake up 4 hours later and go to class, and so I was sleeping in between classes, and then I went to sleep after class, and then by then it was like, oh, it's already 6 p.m., can't start working now, because I can't take my medicine, so I can't be focused.
Also, I'm sorry I didn't do the thing today, Mongoose.
It's fine.
I've been having stuff to do that I need to do. Bruh.
I had.
Still surprised that squirrels are rodents. Sorry if that was irrelevant.
I find it kind of funny that like there's like this part where it's like we've gotta like research the entire list of rodents basically.
I mean, I just looked up ferrets.
I just
really
thought
big
rats
research.
and gerbils were like the only rodents.
I thought like mice and squirrels maybe. I was like, oh yeah, mice. That's what came to mind.
They're just
I mean,
mice.
that's usually what comes to
Rats.
mind when you think of rodents, mice, rats, you know.
Yeah, because everyone speaks of rodents negatively. They're like, oh, rodent.
Well, I mean, you don't want them in your house eating your clothes or whatever. That's moths, isn't it? I don't think rodents eat clothes, do they?
No, I mean, like, I was just like,
Growing
using
coconuts.
like rats as an example. Just like, oh,
The
look, rat.
moth is gonna go into your house and eat all your clothing.
Yeah, I mean, a moth. I could definitely see a moth doing that.
I was actually referencing my character.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I can also see. Wait, where's your character here? I'm sorry. Like, Is it?
Zenith, have you read Mongoose Cryptids?
Where are the? I don't think I got a thing for it. I don't know if I got a document or something. What do you mean, like Reddit?
Lily, can you send him the link to the story?
Give me a sec. I was when Mongoose and you said that, I just had the image of us standing over what's her name? Zenith, like in this dramatic pose.
Zenith?
Zenith?
Zenith.
Zenith, yeah.
Oh yeah, it means
it's the one thing you did with Zuby. It's like, did you eat a fucking baby? But instead it's, Zenith, look at me.
What?
Have you read Mongoose Cryptids?
No. I'm sorry. Like
Alright,
the
I'll
only reason
get
I
the
used
link.
my new name was because it was a somewhat cool misspelling of the word that means the absolute greatest. Like zenith means the highest point of something, and I'm like, that's
Don't mind me
word.
trying to casually get to the front page of the book.
No, I'll get the link.
Okay, there we go. I got it.
Okay.
I'm not trying to mark it.
Someone said, hello there, Quick. It's me again, if you even remember me. I think I do.
Well,
How's your day been? I hope it's going well. I mean, it's been like every other day. I just kind of sit and stare at the ceiling and be like, huh. I mean, I haven't been doing that great lately. I think most people know that. Hey, has anyone seen my Instagram story? If you have, I'm sorry, because you're probably concerned for my mental health, and you probably should be.
I don't have Instagram, but I mean, I'm concerned.
I like how there are two things posted of Mongoose Cryptid. It's like, read Mongoose Cryptids, read Mongoose Cryptid.
Yeah. Oh, should we?
Is it just like that over and over?
Should we explain the? Okay. Should. Alright, we have two options right now. I can change the title of the stream and make it a lore stream, or I can start a new stream and make it a lore stream. Because I'm having a feeling that we're about to get into the lore.
Well, I mean...
Oh, if anybody wants to get into the lore, they better sit down.
I mean, I did say I was going to explain Mongoose Cryptid's lore eventually, and like, while you're here... I think I can change the assets on here. Let me open Discord.
A tiny portion of what we have.
Look too bad. I could probably read it. From the looks of it, it seems like you're pretty good at writing just by skimming at it. Like,
Well, basically what it is we started a roleplay with our characters, and then we liked it so much that I just copy and paste it from our actual roleplay chat. So.
And also, I may or may not have scrapped the entire storyline I had beforehand because this is 10 times better.
Yeah, me too.
well.
Well, the storyline I had before was Lovekey and Fizzy are living in a place, and this guy shows up, and they get sad, and then they all leave, but they adopt a child, and that's it.
Oh,
and this story's like drama, dramatic events.
That I wrote.
Actual development relationships. The thing that no one can understand, I'm mostly concerned that, like, when people read it, they're gonna be concerned about, Jeff and Verita's relationship. Because, like, reading back over some of these fight scenes when I'm copying and pasting it, like, holy shit, dude.
Like, I hope it's. I'm sorry if this question is redundant or if it's like derailing everything from like what it's supposed to be about. But can I read something I wrote? Like, it's not too long, I don't think.
Okay, I'm getting this thing together if we're gonna be explaining the entire lore, so. Did I not copy it?
So far. The lore so far.
The lore, basically, it's only gonna be the lore past what's on the Wattpad story, so, I'm not gonna go past that, because I want people to, like, not. People need a reason to keep reading it.
Okay.
So maybe he just sit down with one thing of popcorn and instead of 5.
This was Wait, are you doing your thing or are you? Wait. Do you have it together?
No, I don't have it together.
I mean, I don't want
to. Go ahead.
Okay, so this was like a creative writing thing that I did, and I constantly share my writing with some of my family, and I don't need to brag, but they're all like, oh my god, that's awesome, but I just thought I'd share it because I like it, and it's like kind of eerie. Okay. I'm like kind of nervous reading this on the stream. Okay. You turn the corner, you see a guy in a box watching. The man looked as if he had been living in filth and poverty his entire life. He turns to you, slowly, as if he were scared of you. It's okay, you say. I'm not going to hurt you. The man welcomes you into the alleyway. He looks at you with wide eyes, rubber bands that have been pulled and stretched to great length. Come, he says, in a raspy, crackly voice. You are hesitant at first, but you follow. Look at the sky, he says. Look right there. You gaze up at the sky as if you were born to do so, for never have you looked or watched something with such purpose. You feel an instant connection to the spot in the sky. The vivid blues and purples and pinks shroud you in a feeling of wonder. You're just about to turn away from the sky, but the old man ushers you to keep looking. He ushers you to keep going. They are coming, you know, he says quietly, but also as if he had been waiting to speak those very words to someone his entire life. Who, you say? The winged ones, the angels, he says, still quietly. You try to process what he had just said, but you can't. You must look up at the sky. All of your cares and worries wade away, dissipate, like you haven't gotten a worry in the world. You have found your purpose. You have found meaning in life. It's God, he says, louder. It's God. You ponder for a moment, and you stop looking at the sky. What do you mean? You say, confused. Have you ever seen such divine beauty? It's mesmerizing. You stare at him for a second, still thinking. You still try to formulate a response, but you can't. Silence ensues for a brief minute until the man speaks once more. Did you think of me as lowly when you first saw me? You hesitate to answer, but you you bring yourself to do so? Yes, you say disappointedly. You know, never judge a book by its cover, the man says softly. Omnicide is inevitable. You look at him, realizing what he is. Take this, he says. Thy grips this firmly, and thy shall be imbued with the Lord's forgiveness. You hold it in your hands, almost squeezing it as tight as you can. It's an origami swan, he says. In effigy you will live on, he says. The man vanishes. You look back up at the sky, gazing at what isn't purples and blues and pinks, but rather reds and oranges. You see visions of macabre displays of mutilation and destruction. You see dilapidated buildings and homes and temples in ruin. The oranges and reds get closer. The air gets hotter, scorching. You get pushed back by a shockwave of debris and forceful air. The end has arrived. The man was right. Omnicide is inevitable, you say. You close your eyes in your last moments. Omnicide is inevitable.
Wow.
That's it.
That was cool. That was nice.
I've spent this entire time
I love writing.
I've been spending this entire time trying to resize text boxes. It's really hard for some reason.
I've written stories. I've written quite a few like short stories and stuff. I have some of them posted on my webpad. I haven't posted the one I wrote for Young Writers this year, but last year, there was a comment that one of the teachers gave me after reading. It's like, so why does Finley, one of the main character, is referred to as they them? And I'm like, because that's their pronouns. And then they're like, and then what? Then like, that's not grammarly correct, but okay. And I just got super angry.
Wait, did she actually say that's not grammarly correct?
Yes.
That's funny because grammarly correct isn't grammatically correct.
Grammarly is a free online program. No, not sponsored.
The teacher literally said grammarly.
With no sense of irony at all.
Yep.
One time I wrote
It's like, that's not really correct.
one time I wrote a short story, where I referred to one of the characters with Gem self pronouns. I don't know if the teacher said anything, but it was very frustrating trying to type it out, and it's like, this isn't grammatically correct. And it's like, fuck you.
It kept on. Sometimes it kept on. Sometimes it changed. Go back in and fix all the pronouns.
I actually tried writing a story with the main characters they them, just because like I usually use he she because that's what I'm familiar with, but I still respect the they them thing. But I had to go back. Sometimes I accidentally said it or he because I usually write main character stories with it. Sorry, I usually write stories with the main character as a guy, and it was like kind of confusing, and I kept saying he, and then I was like, no, I don't want to do that.
I have a problem with making characters that use they them pronouns. I don't mean like I have a problem with it, I'm just really bad at doing it. Because I made a character recently who's uses they them pronouns, and I'm really trying to like not. I was like, maybe I should make him use all pronouns, maybe I should do like he they, and then I was like, no, I'm just gonna use they them, and this is my practice, you know.
I struggle. I was mentioning
I always
Neptune.
like whenever I do a character that has they them pronouns, I always end up like defaulting to like he or she for some reason. And I'm like, no, wait, why am I doing that? And so I'm just like, oh yeah, they use he they or they use she they, and then I like just feel bad. Like I have a character.
That's just how.
I have a character who's referred to as I they used to use they them, but then I changed it to she they just because I couldn't like I kept using she, and I'm like, no, it's they them, and I'm like, no, it's just she they. Fine, let's go with that.
It's just how society is, with how the world has set people up that he and she's just what people default to, which it shouldn't be.
Also, he and she have been wrongly like entangled with the biological sex. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if this will like offend anyone, but like biologically, are like the genders. Like not the genders.
Not the
Like the
genders.
biological sex.
Well,
Like if
I
that
mean,
makes sense. I'm
there's
not trying to say gender is bad. I'm just
genetically
saying
there's
based on
more than two sexes also. Like there's intersex people, there's
Mhm.
people who are born as
Yeah.
not
non-binary.
sexuality. I'm saying like
Yeah.
I didn't say
saying like
sexuality. I said sex. Like the sex you're born as. There's more than two.
well,
For
maybe
example,
I'm
my
just
character
confused. What are
Austin
they?
is
What
actually
would the sexes be that you're born as? What?
You can be born as like a male,
There's
female, or intersex or
you could be
whatever.
born hermaphroditic, like and I mean I know that might be an insensitive question, but like like I don't know.
I mean, there's more than two
I don't know if that makes
sexes you can be
sense.
born as, so it's
Like there's there's male and female, but there's an entire branch of genders and pronouns, and he and she
well, no,
have been
gender and pronouns have
wrongfully
nothing to do
like
with
entangled with
gender and
male and
pronouns have nothing to
female.
do with
So he could be a
biological
female and
sex.
use he or
Gender
and stuff.
gender
Like
and
I don't know how I got to that
zenith,
point of
zenith,
discussing
zenith,
pronouns being wrongfully
zenith.
used with the biological
Listen to
sexes,
me,
but it's still the reason why people default to he and she is
zenith,
because people have been
zenith.
like it's ingrained in their
My mic's
brains
not
that
working.
he equals male and she equals female, but since time has
Zenith,
changed, he and
zenith,
she are kind of like
zenith.
obsolete as being with a specific gender. Like you could
he
address someone as he, but them being a biologically female.
Fucking mic is fucking shit. Alright. Alright, is my mic working now?
Yes.
Alright.
Just
There's more than two sexes. Don't interrupt me this time. There is more than two sexes because you can be born as intersex or non-binary, and like there's more than just male and female. It's not like there's male, female, and then there's the branched off gender identities. You can be born as something other than a male or a female. It's not like that's the default and then you only transition from that. There is other options.
well,
There's other things
I
that
don't want to be
happen.
mean, but what else would there be? I mean, I know there's
Intersex.
intersex, but is that a specific biological sex?
Yes. Have you ever
Well,
looked up intersex? That's not like it can be an identity, but like I think it can. That like that's something you're born as.
yeah. It is something
That's
you're
not like
born
it.
as.
That's not like a nobody can be born as this. They can only transition to it. The people are born male, female, intersex. There's several like biological genders slash sexes that exist and
well, wait, hold on.
are
Have I
acknowledged.
been like have I
Listen
been
to me. Listen. Let
talking
me
too long?
finish. Let me finish. There's
I wasn't trying.
there's a ton of like biological sexes that are like acknowledged by science, other
Is
than
Yeah.
male
impotent
and
one?
female.
Is impotent one?
Impotent?
Impotent. That means your genital doesn't work. Is that a biological sex?
I
I
don't.
guess I don't
I
know
thought
why
that
I'm
I
being
thought that was just
confused.
called being sterile.
Well, is sterile
Just
a
because
biological sex?
your biological sex isn't determined by whether your dick works or not.
Oh yeah, but I'm confused because intersex is kind of
It means you're
it's kind of like a
you're a mix
branch
of
off of
both.
male and female.
No, it's a biological sex
Kind of.
people are born as. It's not like
Someone is called intersex whenever they're born with both parts, right?
I think it's a variety of different things.
But
I
it's
think it's
kind of a
mostly in the
branch
chromosomes.
off of. They could be. I guess it's like they could be male, female, or male and female. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm like completely wrong, but I mean I probably am because I still am growing accustomed to all these new uh time stuff, society
Not really new
stuff.
time stuff. It's always like
But
been there. It's
from
just
from my understanding, there's only two relative like there's only really two
No,
biological
no.
sexes, and intersex is just a term given to someone who has both male and female parts, but they're still male and female. I don't know, am I completely wrong? Like,
I think so.
is intersex like its own separate thing, or is it just it's just another
Pretty sure.
term for saying male and female? I
Is
guess.
is it okay? Guys, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to mention that the stream is currently on the Wattpad story. So
Like,
Like on the screen?
I'm just like
yeah,
confused.
on YouTube.
Wait, okay, are you saying it's like the thing that says Mongoose cryptids, or are you saying it's like the actual, like,
It's
stories
when we
open on the
both
screen?
when we originally came up with, hey, we could talk about mongoose cryptids here. That's where it's at.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
wait.
stream
Can
is
someone
laggy,
explain?
but...
A bit. Like,
Okay, but people can watch it back.
loading
It's fine. It's
maybe?
not like I'm getting any questions.
Can someone explain to me how?
Not
Like,
really.
I mean, the that there's more than two biological sexes.
Some
There's
people
more than two
aren't born
genders.
as a female or a male. Being born as intersex doesn't mean you're male and female, it means you're intersex.
Well, what does intersex mean? That's a
You're
good question.
intersex. What
Is
else
that
do you want me to say?
is it a generalization of both or none?
No. Is my mic
Like both
picking
parts or no parts? If that makes sense. Like,
The stream is at the reading part. I'm just gonna randomly update.
Okay, there we go. Intersex, being born as intersex means you're born as intersex. It doesn't mean you're born as male and female, it means you're born as intersex.
well, maybe it's just me and that I've never learned this before, but what? I mean, then what pronouns are for intersex, or what
Whatever ones
is it?
they
Does it
want, that
mean?
doesn't... Pronouns don't correlate with sex or gender.
No, I know. I'm saying like the one that was apparently correlated with intersex. Like he is like kind of a generalization identification word for male, but of course it can like branch off. Anyone can use he, anyone can use she. But was there like anything for intersex, or was it like what was it like, or is that
I don't...
not a thing? Am I
I
just
mean, not
completely
really.
confused?
It's kind of just up to the parent, I guess. Or the child. There's not really like,
Well,
there's not a base term for it as far as I know.
well, are there more than three then?
Yeah,
Like,
people can be born as like nothing, also. Agender.
you mean asex?
Agender.
Or because
I
gender
don't,
doesn't correlate with
I'm not
biological
entirely
sex.
sure what term to use for it, because I'm not sure what the like scientific term for it is. But asex is, don't think we should be using that one.
No.
That's kind of confusing with asexual, which is a sexuality, not a gender, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's more than one gender and more than one sexuality. More than two sexualities, more than two genders, more than two pronouns to use. But I just can't wrap my head. I just can't really wrap my head around that there's more than
Then
two biological sexes.
I guess just try looking it up, try looking up intersex and like I don't
You should try to do
it's not
research.
really our job to explain it to you.
No, I know it's not. I was just asking, and also like I just don't know how to understand that. I don't know how to
I don't
like
know how to
I've
teach you how
always
to understand it. Okay, here, let me try my best. So, a baby is born. It is born intersex. That's about it. I don't know what
do the
else to say.
parents say that sorry.
I mean, depending on what's going on with the genitals, then, like, I think you can generally be like, you can choose to, like, remove
I
one
guess
or
that's why
whatever.
I say male or female.
It's not male and female or male or female.
No, I know. I'm just saying because you said it was up to the parents. So would
Well,
the parents just
sometimes.
say that their child is or would they say that they're male or female?
Well, like if the child is born with both genitals, then like then it's like up to the parents whether they want to like remove one. I think from what I know that's what the process is.
I am like everything that I've learned has been like thrown out the window. Like
Yeah, that's I mean, what we're generally taught as a society is you kind of got to throw a lot of it out the window.
well,
Because we're kind of raised in a way to think that everything is fine and we're put in a little bubble, and that nothing is wrong in the world, and it's our job to realize that,
I
hey,
just
things
don't
are wrong and that we
understand
can't
the
stay in the little
concept of
bubble wrap
intersex.
forever, you know?
I
I
know
just
it's not your
nodded and
job to
nobody saw me. I just nodded and nobody saw.
I know that it's not your guys' job to explain this to me, but I guess I can't. I just can't really understand the concept of intersex. Like, I mean, because there's only two parts. There's two, only two parts.
This
Like,
is really gonna freak you out then, probably. Did you know a penis is technically just a very large clitoris?
well,
I like
yeah.
how that just caused silence. That's lovely.
Well, I guess
Did
because
you know that, babies default to what would be known as female when they're in the womb, and being biologically male is like develops over time because they have to like gain the Y chromosome
yeah, I know.
from being a very strange
There are
child and for some reason watching a bunch
okay, okay.
of documentaries on the development of children over time when you're like
I know that all babies are born.
don't know why I did that.
Not all babies are born. I mean, like all babies are designated female in the womb, but like the male parts over like develop. But it's so weird that we even need anything to determine what parts anyone like a person like if, I don't know if you heard what I said, but
In a perfect world, there'd be no like binding gender, and it's just like you are who you are.
Social
Love
construct.
who you love.
I
It
guess
does not matter.
but then
Gender is a social construct and it doesn't need to exist. Fuck gender roles.
Yeah.
I mean, just say a person was walking down the street. Like, would we say that? I mean, we probably should anyway because we've like omitted the miss whatever or the miss whatever because everything's changing and stuff. So you should usually just address people by their last name or first name if you know them well. Or it's like say
I don't think that would exist if we didn't have
like
gender
first name
roles.
last name.
We'd probably find some other way to refer to people formally if gender roles weren't a thing. We just don't know what
Yeah.
that is because we're not in that perfect
Yes.
world.
I want to mention something. This isn't related to anything, but I decided that Neptune is just going to be born blind. Born blind.
Okay.
I felt like I needed to tell you that. I decided that a few days ago, but forgot to tell you.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys have no idea who Neptune is, or you guys have no clue who Neptune is going to even be.
I'm sorry if I caused debate over random shit because of my ignorance. I'm just.
I mean,
I guess I'm just another
I mean, if you're really interested in it, or you like really want to know more, than like research, I guess. Like there's videos that can explain it. There's articles you can read. You know. I don't really know a lot personally, so I don't really have a lot of like facts I can point to, because I don't really go out of my way to like learn a lot about this. I kind of just my generally what I do is just like I don't really care how people identify or how they're born or whatever. I think people are just people and you should treat them as such and it doesn't really matter.
I mean, I do too, but I was saying, like, because if we're wired to reproduce,
Okay,
like,
but if we're
because
wired to
other things. But then
reproduce,
again, like,
if we're wired to
no one's
reproduce,
reproduced before.
if we're wired to reproduce, what about asexual people?
No, I know, I never. I mean, like from the beginning, like whenever we're born, kind of. But I mean, and then I was about to say, I don't want to be rude, but let me finish. I was going to say that then again, like no one reproduces anymore. Like like no one's really. That's not really a main thing anymore. We just kind of exist,
Well,
and it's
yeah,
kind
we're
of
humans.
strange.
We're more intelligent. We're not like feral
But
animals
that
that
doesn't.
only
Yeah.
That
eat,
doesn't mean
sleep,
we're
and
not animals.
that only just want to survive until they can have babies and then continue their species. We're smart enough to have
People
lives and do other things. That's not a really
people forget.
priority anymore. It doesn't
I
need to
like
be.
it's finally at Mongoose Cryptids. I like how it just says Mongoose Cryptids while this entire conversation is going down.
Well, I don't. This conversation isn't appearing on the stream yet. I don't think. Um.
Not yet, but it now says Mongoose Cryptids. I'm just yeah. But I like the context. It's just like, okay, Mongoose Cryptids lore stream, and then there's like this whole thing with gender identity.
Can we keep talking about kind of off topic? Sorry.
I'm sorry, I was just a little frustrated because I thought we were getting somewhere with this
Yeah.
discussion.
Sorry, but
I was just trying to make a joke. I'm sorry. I didn't
No,
mean to.
you're fine. I mean,
it's okay. It's just like we were kind of in the middle of something.
I don't
It's
mean to
alright.
rope
I'm sorry.
everyone.
I didn't mean to.
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
It's okay. Stop yelling.
I just feel bad. I'm sorry.
I'm
I
not
don't want to
mad at
rope
you. I'm not
everyone.
mad at anybody. I just want to continue the conversation.
I mean, me too, because I think we're going somewhere. I think.
All right. What were we saying?
Uh, wait, who are you talking to?
You.
Oh, I was just saying, it's. I was just saying that I thought that this conversation was going somewhere. Like that. It's kind of.
Okay. I'll bring up this point then, because I think this is kind of what we're talking about. Natural instinct is generally to reproduce, but as humans, we've become advanced and intelligent enough that we don't act on natural instinct anymore, and we can understand our own thoughts and feelings.
Our natural instinct is actually. I think we still have a base of that natural instinct, not necessarily to
Well, yeah, but we
reproduce, but
don't
to
always
carry our
follow
ideas
it.
on.
Otherwise, we'd be attacking people over food and, like, shit.
Well, but oh, I remember what I was going to say. I was going to say that humans forget that they're animals. We are still
We
animals.
don't
We
have
are
to
still
be
primal.
animals. We
No,
don't
but
have to
we
be
are
primal.
animals. It's a fact. It's a fact. It's a
Okay,
biological.
biologically, yeah, we're animals, but we are more advanced than most animals, so we don't have to act like animals, and we don't have to follow our natural instinct to survive because
No, I know, but we're still
we have
animals.
adapted comfortably enough to a point where natural instinct isn't necessary to survive.
Um,
Yeah, because we thrive on our own needs, just like other animals thrive on their own needs.
Not
Like I'm saying, we still have that primal instinct to thrive and to carry on, not necessarily to reproduce, but just to teach our ways forward. And someone might disagree with me, but I
well, I
think
mean,
that's the base
like
human instinct to carry our ideas forward, whether it's through reproduction or just general. empathy or whatever.
Okay. Carrying your ideas forward has nothing to do with reproduction. You can educate people in other ways. Teachers and like just talking to friends.
That's why teachers exist.
You're
Teachers
supposed to.
exist to carry on the stuff. Carry on the stuff.
I know. I was saying that we're supposed to carry on our information forward. We're supposed to spread our word forward to the next generation so they get it more information, and that's a base of primal instinct. That's
Yeah,
why
but
people
not everyone wants to teach the next generation. Maybe you do, but I don't really ever want to do that. I can educate my friends on stuff, but I don't really have any deep desire to educate
I'm
the
saying that
children
if
on the
you
future.
teach someone, no, you even have that base primal instinct to carry your information forward because you're
Don't
literally
think
telling
so.
us, and then we'll tell other people, and then we'll tell other people, and then all that stuff. And then all these ideologies will get lumped together into kind of like a one thing, and then everybody, and then all human culture will be passed forward on and on and on, whether that's through reproduction or passing of information orally or just through text. Like that's what I meant to say. I'm not saying that reproduction has anything to do with that base primal instinct.
I mean, I like
I feel
sharing
like
information, but I think that's not really an instinct.
it's
I
a
mean,
basis of it.
not really.
I think.
I mean,
I think it is. Like, I mean, I don't want to like contradict you. I don't want to like be mean and be rude, but I think that it's definitely a base of a primal instinct that
what about
every
people
animal
who can't speak? Or
text.
like people who
They still want to
don't know
do
how
the
to
way
like
talking.
talk
They
at
can do
all.
that easily.
Like people who
They
have
can.
literally no way of communication. They don't share
Well,
information.
well, then they'll be. Well, then they'll be possibly documented, and then people will be taught about that.
Okay,
Like
but
I know
then
it's a lot of
they're
language.
not doing the information
It's
thing. What
not
about
always
them?
language.
Then
It's not
that's only the
always.
people I think we're getting off topic.
It's not. It's not always willful the passing of information, but that's like a base thing that
I
that
think
all
that just
species are
people like
doing.
sharing information. People like talking.
Oh, you mean like some people like keeping to themselves? You mean
No, I mean people like talking. That's just a
the
thing.
reason why we're
That
social
doesn't
is
mean it's
we want to
primal.
share opinions with other people so we can pass them forward. Like
It's not
we
everything
need
is about
love to
carrying
exist.
on to the next generation. People want to
Okay,
live
so
their
how
own
is that because we
lives.
need different opinions to influence how we talk and pass that information down to the next generation?
Okay, not everyone like passing of information can be like literally anything from like
No,
saying
I
like,
know
"Oh yeah, I ate a
exactly.
fucking taco today." That's not going to influence the next generation, but you're still like that's passing down information. That's a primal
You said that
instinct.
was. I
Like
wasn't saying opinions. People are social. People are social because they want to gain other insight other than their own.
well, not everyone wants
Whether
to
it's
gain other
small
insight,
talk, whether it's just kind of small talk, or what we're having right now, an intelligent discussion about primal instinct and gender and discussion. Like I will retain this information, and then I might share it with someone else. Like
but
I'm
primal instinct is basically what we think and do naturally to survive, what animals would think and do naturally to survive. Like eating food so you stay alive, drinking water so you stay alive, and in some
that's
cases
survival.
having babies so you can carry on your generation. As humans, we have evolved past the point where we only care
I'm gonna
about
look up the
survival.
definition of
We
primal.
don't. We care about having our own lives and being our own people, and we care about taking care of other people, and we have intelligent discussions, and it's not about primal instinct. These
Primal.
instincts are like they still exist, but like it's not like we use them that much because
Relating to an early stage in
instinct to
evolutionary
okay,
development.
urges to like talk to people is not an instinct to survive. You don't need to talk to people and convey information,
What primal is. Primal is, I'm reading the definition right now, relating to an early stage in evolutionary development,
which is when we
which
had
we need
only our
every
natural instinct.
information, and that's a
AKA
basic.
primal instinct is natural instinct.
Well, carrying information forward is, in a sense, primal instinct.
That's not
Because,
helping us survive. I mean,
well,
I
it's
guess it
helping
can, but
evolutionary
not everyone
development
has
by
to do it to
it's
live.
this why the Inuits have 30 different names for snow. They're retaining that information so they can help and evolve to adapt to it.
Do we need
If
30?
they,
I'm confused.
we don't need it because we are a different culture and different people than, not different people, but like different culture, different race, different this, different that from everyone. But we all have our own. We still have our own somewhat groups, and we all have our own lives. But our base primal instinct is to move evolution forward, and we do that by carrying and retaining information, like sharing and retaining information. And we do that by speaking and sharing our opinions on things so future generations indirectly know whether it's from a primary source, secondary source, what
Okay,
have
but
you.
that doesn't
They
mean
know
talking about things is an instinct to communicate to the next
we
generation.
haven't
Let
learned
me
to have the
finish.
social norms
Let
that we do
me
today.
finish.
I'm sorry.
Just because people want to convey information doesn't mean they want to share it to the next generation. Whether it gets there or not has nothing to do with what the person's intentions were.
Well, yeah, like, but I
So
said
if
it's
it
not always
if it
about
indirectly gets to the next generation, that's not instinct, that's just it gets there.
through more information being passed.
Okay, but a
Like,
lot of the times it's like not if it's indirect, it's not on purpose, therefore it's not.
documentation is human instinct to
Okay,
carry information forward.
some people like sharing information to the next generation, but not everybody does. That's why a lot of it gets passed to other people, not intending to go to the next generation, and then gets to the next generation, meaning not everybody has an instinct to teach the next generation.
I
Not
never said
everybody
anyone
has an
had an
instinct
exact
to
instinct.
want to
I said
pass on
everyone.
things.
I never that no, I never said that was the main primal instinct. I
I
said
never said anything
we
about
have
Maine. I'm
a
just saying in general.
I know we have a basis of that instinct. Everyone does. Everyone has a base or basis of the the desire to carry information forward, whether that's just entire like literary texts or just talking. The reason why we need to be social is
Some
to
people just
again
want to
evolve,
write. That doesn't mean they want to share it. Some people just find it and it happens to get somewhere.
and they
That
want to
doesn't
be
mean they wanted
remembered.
it to share with anybody.
Well, if they write, they're still putting information on. They're still
Yeah, not on
somewhat
purpose.
documenting
That
it.
doesn't mean it's an instinct.
I'm just saying that people will, whether it's so slight, everyone has some sort of a primal desire to carry information forward. Like it's not even our way of living. It's just a base.
Okay,
It's
well,
just
hold on. What is this?
kind of ingrained in our brains that we have to
Okay,
do, even though we
I'm
don't know it.
I'm
Why
kind
we're social.
of
Like
okay.
I'm saying this to you.
I'm kind of understanding. People want to inform people. What does this have to do with having kids?
I said that having
Yeah.
kids was a way of conveying information forward. But now
As far
it's
as I
also
know, having kids was just a way of like reproducing and continuing your species. It's not always about conveying information. I mean, what about people who have kids and just
it's
put them up
more
for adoption,
information. Like
or like
we have
people
children to
who just
carry our
don't talk to
species
their kids?
forward, and those species. But because we don't need to reproduce now, well, I mean we
We
do,
do.
but like not really. It's not like a main thing. I'm not like centering this entire thing around reproduction
Yeah, I mean,
because
there's
no,
7 billion people on Earth. Somebody's gonna be reproducing at some point.
yeah, but I'm saying like whether it's reproduction or the conveying of information, it's still a base of that instinct to carry a species forward because species need to retain information or else they will fall. It will lead to their
Okay,
utter downfall
carrying
if they
on a
refuse to
species
convey
is
to the
not
next generation. For example,
carrying on a species is an instinct that humans have evolved past because not everybody wants kids, not everybody wants to carry on their species in some way because wanting kids doesn't mean wanting to raise kids. Wanting kids, if the desire was just to carry on the like information but like you didn't actually want kids, then you could literally just have kids and then put them up for adoption and move on with your day. Like, and not
no,
everybody does that.
the reason why you couldn't is because you still need to raise your children. So
No,
you
you
can
don't.
teach your morals and pass your information onto the next generation. That's what I'm saying.
If you want to pass your information on to the next generation, then that you could just become a teacher. You don't need to have kids to do this.
No, I know not
I
everyone.
am become
But
teacher.
then again, not everyone wants to be a teacher.
There are other ways to convey information to
Some
other
people have
people
children
and or
teach them
children.
their morals, and indirectly. I'm not saying directly. I'm not saying it's their
Okay, okay,
main
listen,
drive for living. I'm
the
just saying it's a
main,
base. It could be also a
what do you mean the
subconscious
main drive for
desire.
living? You mean like the meaning of life? Because I don't really think there is one.
No, not the meaning of life. I'm saying we subconsciously desire to convey information forward, to
I don't.
help and carry on our speech. Well, what do you mean you don't? Like give an example.
I
Of
don't really
one.
have a desire to educate children about the future and about the world we're
Okay,
living in.
well that's just one sub area of
That's
what
not
I'm
a
talking
sub
about.
area. I'm a person.
I
I
know. I never.
like this is an
It's
important thing. That mean if one person, even if it's just one person, doesn't want to like do that, then that means that it's not a base thing. Like
well. I'm not saying that you have to become a teacher. That's not what I'm talking about.
I didn't
It's
say
you.
anyone had to
It's a
become a teacher.
subconscious thing. It's a subconscious thing. It's like the fact that you're talking to me right now kind of
You are
proves
not
that
a
you want
child.
to make me understand something
You
that
are
is
not the
very
future generation. We are the same age.
I know, but we both might. You might not, but I will probably teach my children what you have said
Okay,
because
cool.
it's this conversation is
Good for
literally giving
you.
me new information to retain to
Okay.
carry forward. And I'm not saying that
Humans just want to learn. Not everyone wants to pass on the information they get. You might want to pass on the information you get. Not everyone wants to. Some people, they'll learn some shit and then they don't want to say anything.
but the fact that they're learning it means that they want to retain that information.
Yeah, for themselves, not for the future generation. And that means if they don't say anything, then even if they were, that means no one gets to know besides them. No, that's not what it
But
was.
someone taught them.
Someone taught
And
them,
other
they didn't
people
teach anyone else, meaning they don't have the instinct to pass on information to anyone.
they passed it
To,
on to them
no,
because they
someone passed it on to them, and then that person didn't pass it on to anyone else, meaning they didn't have an instinct to do that. So,
well, I mean, they might actually because if they
if they
don't want to take
don't,
because they want to
okay,
keep that information for themselves because they think that if they have it they will teach future generations they will be able to
no!
pass
Not
those
everyone
knowledge
wants
to their
information to teach it to other people. Some people
no
just want to know
I know how
shit.
to teach people some things but it's like I might teach my children some of that I'm not I
Okay,
mean and I'm also not
good
saying
for
that
you and your
everything
children.
will be passed down I'm not saying that every single point of someone's point of view has to be passed down. I'm just saying one little thing could carry an entire generation forward. Like if someone said, "Oh, look, that those type of
You
mushrooms are
kind of just
poisonous and they
avoided
aren't,"
my entire
that could carry
point.
an entire species forward.
Okay,
Just that little
listen,
bit of
listen,
information.
listen, listen, listen. So, there's a person. They are taught something, and they don't want to teach anyone else about it. That doesn't mean other people don't know about it, but it means they don't have an internal drive to tell people about it. So they
I'm not
don't
saying they
have
have to tell people.
they don't have to tell people, and like yeah, maybe other people will find out eventually because someone's telling people, but they aren't. So
What about text? What about text? Instead,
what
like they will tell
does
someone about
text have to
like
do with anyone? They don't want to tell anyone. That's part of telling people shit.
well,
This has nothing to do with how you communicate it.
they're still giving that
If they
information.
do not want to, in any form, any fucking language or way of communication, tell someone about something, that means they don't have an instinct to tell people about that. An instinct is an internal drive that everyone should have to help them survive. If they don't have that, that means not everyone has that.
Uh, I just said that not everything has to be passed down. So if they're taught a specific
This
way,
doesn't have
they
to
might
do with
not be able to.
everything. This has to do with every person.
No, I know, but every person has some information that they teach to someone. Like an example, you're teaching me this. And an example is I'm like sharing my insight with you, so you might take that into account. And I'm not saying that you aren't. I'm just saying that I'm like I'm a kind of a primal person, me personally, but I know other people aren't. But I thrive on wanting people to remember me and wanting to impact future generations. That's my drive specifically. I'm not saying everyone's like that. I'm just saying that's me personally, and that's kind of
Yeah,
where I'm
okay.
getting my
I,
opinion
I
from.
understand this. I understand that that's what you want to do personally, but you've kind of been saying it like that's an instinct thing, and that everyone is like that, or like that's a base thing that everyone is like, and that
How do you think
saying
that you
that
survive
you're
knowing the
okay.
basic
Hold on,
things?
no, no, no. Listen. Saying that you act primal, or like saying that what you're thinking of is a primal instinct, is kind of like saying that like you were a because not everyone.
Saying that what?
Fucking Mike. Okay. Saying that I think I act on instinct more because I act like this is kind of saying that you are a default. It's like saying. Be- no,
No, that's
let me
not at all
let me
fair.
explain. Words. I'm really bad at words right now. It's kind of late. Let me think of how to word this properly
I do
to convey my
not
point.
word
Okay.
and
Okay. If saying that you act on instinct, instinct is something everyone has. But if not everyone acts like you, then what you're saying that if not everyone acts
I'm
like
not
you, then
saying
what
that
you're
I'm the
acting
perfect
like is
example.
not instinct. Your actions are not instinct just because you do them, because not everyone does them. Saying because you think what you do is on instinct,
Everyone
or saying what
doesn't.
you think what you do is primal, means like an instinct is something everyone has a drive to do. But not everyone is like you, which I know you know that, but
No, I know.
this is difficult to word. Okay, let me
Well,
try to explain this. Um, okay. So you say that you think that how you're feeling and acting makes you someone who acts on instinct, correct?
no, I didn't
That's
say
what
that. I
you
just
said.
said
You
that I
say
consider myself.
okay. You said you consider yourself
The
a
general
primal
definition
person
of
because
primal,
you
I
act this
consider
way.
myself to be
No,
simple.
no, no. You said you said I think I'm a very primal, instinctual person because blah
Primal
blah blah blah
person.
blah.
Relating to an early stage in evolution. Okay, original, initial, early, earliest, first, primitive,
But
primary.
primitive
Basic,
is people
fundamental,
acting on
essential, elemental,
instinct.
primary, vital. I'm not saying that I'm a vital person. I'm just saying I
I didn't say
try
anything
to.
about violent.
No, I said vital.
Vital?
Absolutely needed.
I
Information is
didn't say that
absolutely
either.
needed to help your species thrive. And people thought that the best way to do that was by having children. It's subconsciously. I'm not saying that everybody had to do that, but it was like mainly most people had children to do that, and the people who didn't want to do that still had children
I
because
think
they
you're kind of
knew
missing my
in their
point.
mind that they
You're
had to
missing my point
that they
here.
had.
Okay, my point is you said, you word for word said, I think I am a primal person, and then you explain, and when you were explaining why you think that, you said because you want to like have kids and teach them about like stuff and you want to like pass on your story and be remembered. But primal conveys some sense of like instinct. That's what I'm saying is that like people in their primal early stage acted on
Same.
instinct. So in theory primal would be the same or at least very very close to instinct. And not,
Is instinctual.
but that's like saying
I mean,
that you
I
act,
think
that that a lot of your feelings or actions are on instinct. They could be instincts for you specifically, but they're not human instinct. Like,
I never said they were. I was just saying every human has a base of one instinct, and that is to carry on information forward to the next generation through the species
no,
they're
not
on.
everyone has that instinct.
I've been explaining this for like 30 minutes.
Not every. Okay, you have that in the back of your mind. Good for you. The main instinct that every human has is to survive.
No, every main human's instinct is to
The
keep their species
fuck do you
going.
mean, main human?
Not main
Main
human. I mean
human?
like the base human instinct.
There is no, like, base
The base
human.
human instinct from the beginning of time. Every single species has this. Every single thing has this. I'm talking from a general standpoint, not just humans, but everything. Every single thing. We are. I'm still kind of on the
What
point that
about
we
bugs
forget
that
that we're
literally
animals and
abandon
we
their
still
children as
have.
soon as they're born? If every species has the thing to want to convey information to the next generation or to whoever the fuck, how are these bugs doing this shit? They're abandoning their children once they lay the fucking eggs, and they never see them again.
What do you mean? Like, it's still
Okay,
like people. I mean, maybe they
you
don't
said
have the
every
instinct, but
species
there's
has
a
the
reason
instinct to
why.
carry on
Because they
information to the next
thought that
generation.
was
These
the
bugs
best
aren't
way.
teaching anyone anything. These baby bugs are literally acting only on their natural instincts to live and then, like, having their own children and immediately leaving them.
No, they're still
Yes!
carrying their species forward. They still
Okay,
think,
they're not
oh, I
teaching
need
them
to carry
shit.
on information, whether they have influence or not. They're still ladybugs. Like, let's say bugs. I guess bugs in general. They were taught through information and information that was conveyed to them
These bugs
that was the
aren't
best
being
way to
taught
leave their
anything.
species forward. That's why they leave their children, because they thought that it was the best way to leave their species forward. If someone actually raised
No,
them,
they leave their
if
children
someone
because
was
they're about to
well,
die.
well, they thought that it was the
They
best way
they have their
to carry
children
their
and then they
species
want to
forward.
go have more children because they're acting on natural instinct. They're not teaching their children anything, so it's not like they're conveying it to the next generation of their species. So this isn't a
They're
every
conveying
species has this
basic
thing.
information. It's
I'm starting to
conveying
get.
basic information.
Sorry.
My head hurts.
It's
Mine
conveying
too.
basic
I'm
information.
not even a big part of this conversation. My head hurts too.
Every human is more or less different instinctually. Some have an instinct to carry on
Yeah, I know.
information,
Like,
and some
no
don't.
one has the same instinct.
Some don't, and I don't think that's a primal thing either. I don't think every human, even back then, wanted to convey information to everyone.
I never said it was a drive. I said it was a
Yeah, you did.
subconscious
You literally
thing.
said everything has a subconscious drive to convey information to the next species.
I
Those are
wasn't
your
talking about drive.
words.
I meant desire.
That's
Because
the
Yeah.
same
the thing is,
thing.
we don't really know it. We don't really know it. We don't know it, but everyone has some sort of basic information, like a sense of
No, they
basic information.
don't.
May I add something to this conversation?
Sure,
Yes.
go ahead.
Although the main base, like the very root instinct, is simply survival and reproduction, inst- the instinct of communication is just branch off of that. Because if you communicate, for example, about something dangerous, then you can survive it,
Yes.
which in
Thank
turn
you.
makes it so that communication helps survival, and in turn reproduction, because well,
Okay,
if you tell your kids
The
in some
basic
way or
human
another
instinct is
yes.
communication. Thank
that
you for
something is
telling me.
dangerous, then you'll
It
survive.
was in the freaking back of my head. I was trying to find the perfect
No,
word for it.
okay,
Thank you so much.
conveying information, it's instinctual because it's necessary for survival, but conveying literally every information, not every. We don't depend on a need for survival anymore. Well, no, that's worded wrong.
We thrive on keeping our species going.
No,
Yeah.
no,
No, we do.
Yeah,
We do.
technically.
Yeah,
no.
we want to keep our species going.
I don't care.
Technically,
I don't care about
we
keeping the
still
species
have
going.
we
Some
still
people
have
want every fucking
You
human
might
to
not want to have
die.
children.
survival.
You might not want to have children, but you want to let people know. I mean, I'm pretty sure you definitely want people to know about the.
Okay, I'm gonna
Let me,
set up
let me
with that.
think over my points really quickly, because
I
I.
think you
Right.
probably want people to know some of this stuff, like that. There's all these different genders because, like, if someone, like, let's say if someone doesn't know, like, I'm not saying you do, but I mean, some the future generation should probably know about this. That there are more than two genders. That there are more than two sexualities. There are more than two this, two that. There are more than that. There's like almost an infinite amount of possibilities for pretty much everything. And
There's also a bunch of people who will teach that subject to them.
Yeah, but not everyone is wanting people to learn that.
and the
Like, there's
people
some
who
people
want
who are
to learn
literally
it,
trying to limit communicate. Like, there are people who are literally trying to limit this knowledge from. Like, there's people who are, like, voting against teaching about LGBT people in schools. Like, they're not trying to teach anyone about anything. They're trying to keep people from
Yeah.
learning about this.
they're still trying to convey the information and
No, they're
they
trying to
think that they're doing the correct
they're
thing.
trying to withdraw information. They're not saying let's teach the kids that gay is bad because it's not bad. They're just saying I don't want my kids learning about LGBT stuff. They're being kind of
They're
homophobic,
preventing
but
important
still.
information from going forward. That's what they're doing. They're still trying
They're
but
keeping
in their mind they think that they're doing the right thing by sending the right information forward.
they're not
So
sending
sometimes
any
they have to
different
send the
information. They're only withholding stuff. They're not
and
putting something
withholding
else
is
in
also
its
a
place.
withholding is also a way of communication.
Okay, their child is not gaining any extra knowledge from not knowing that shit. That's not shit.
They are in the sense that if someone knows something, it can be detrimental to how they think. Like, again, I know now that not that it's detrimental that there's a thing called intersex now. I will retain that and I will teach people and like someone else might know that and they're like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." But then again, if I didn't know that, I would have kept trying to do my like do the old conversation thing about there are only two biological sexes. But like and also by not withholding that, you're like kind of acting on that basic instinct. But if
Humans
you did withhold it, you might not want other people to know that, and then the right quote like right as in quote like quote right like kind of right like the right I'm doing air quotes right now the right information to go forward.
Okay,
If that makes sense.
humans have an instinct to collect and learn information. Some people
Yes.
don't want to acknowledge the information. What they do with the information, whatever. But people generally they want to learn things so that they can be smart and
They
so they can
subconsciously think that this
they want to
information isn't
know
right for
they
future
need to be taught
generations.
what is right and wrong so that they can like move forward properly without making issues.
Being taught what is right and wrong and teaching that is information. So everyone has that instinct.
Well, everyone has an
Teaching
instinct
what
to.
is right and
No,
wrong.
no,
And
listen, listen,
communicating what is
listen,
right and
listen,
wrong.
listen, listen. Everyone
Yes.
has an instinct to learn. Not everyone has an instinct to teach.
I never
Well,
said teach. I
You said
said
may
teach
I
many,
add?
many
May,
times.
may I add another point
not
to
specifically
this?
teach,
Well, you
but like
said specifically teach several times throughout that conversation. You said
well,
convey
if
information,
I well,
teach, pass on information,
yeah,
aka the definition
yeah,
of
like
teaching.
it's like well, yeah. Right
Not
and
everyone
wrong
has an
are
instinct to teach.
the
Okay, everyone has an
what
instinct to learn new information, but not everyone has the instinct to teach new information.
everyone has an instinct to teach right and wrong.
No.
People want other people to know what is right and wrong so that can benefit their society, whether they don't know it yet. Everyone is the reason why we have regulations or whatever on what is right and wrong is because many people, every single person has is like agreed, disagreed, all this other stuff, implemented new ideas
Yes,
to
and
to fit
not
a model that is right
not
or wrong.
every single person has contributed to that. Some people only
Mm,
learn it, and not everyone is
Every
teaching
single
it.
person has. I think
may
every
I
single person has.
may I add something?
Yes.
Yes.
In today's society, instincts are usually not very present because
Yeah.
the base instinct of survival is barely thought about because of how easy it is to do. So the instinct of survival isn't as strong as default, which in turn means that most instincts are not that solid